Today, we have another short story from a female artist from Vancouver, Canada, participating at LinkedIn New York City Women of the World. Darcey Clapp, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. It's a bit dreary out here today with rain, but I'm very happy.
Okay, good to see you and good to hear you.
Thank you, you too.
Darcey, we understand you are a retired teacher,
Correct.
and that aspect of your life allowed you to become an artist.
Yes.
Your art sells in galleries in Canada, and private collectors commission your paintings, obviously prior this pandemic.
Yes.
Who is Darcey Clapp, and how did you enter in the world of art?
You know, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and as a teacher, it was very difficult to always be spontaneous because you're always acting as a teacher, you know. And I traveled 2 hours both ways to Victoria. I actually live in I taught in Victoria. I'm on Vancouver Island, a little ways from Vancouver, and I never had time while I was teaching to actually go into my artwork and find that endeavor that I wish to have. And as when I retired, I realized I had all this time on my hands. And I grew up in a very creative family. My father, my mother, my sister Brenda Sabella's a fine artist in Edmonton, Alberta. And I just found myself exploring colors. I always loved to doodle and play with colors on my own, but never time to actually create art. So I'm an outdoors person. I love to fish, I love to hike, I love to cycle. We have a boat, so we boat a lot. So I started with visual journals. And then colors and forms. I started off in kinesiology and did psych nursing before a teacher. And those forms, the movement, really is part of my art. I use my hands to paint with my fingers. I love to feel the paint. And I think that's what my paintings evolve out into, is movement.
Fascinating. Is there a crucial moment during art production while you're painting? Is there any tough moment that is difficult to you in order to proceed with your painting?
I don't have problems starting.
Okay.
I love putting color down. And after I do any kind of base coat, I'm not afraid of color. But what always troubles me is at that point in your painting, where do I put more highlights? Is this a cooler picture, a warmer picture? Am my highlight's going to be very bright? What am I going to do there? And it's that, I guess some people call the ugly stage of your painting. I struggle with that. I have to leave my paintings alone, go back and start another painting, come back to it, go back to it. Then I started working with mediums. And I have some favorite clear mediums I've been using, so it doesn't actually impact my color. And then I can get past that. Sometimes just using medium to give a texture. And I go, oh, there's the shadow.
Okay. Okay. Like all the artist says, the painting is never done until the artist says it's done, right?
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
That's true.
The question that I think it is necessary for every creator: who is the artist out there that inspire you?
Actually, I have a few. One's my sister Brenda.
Okay.
Who basically has encouraged me, and my husband Bruce, who has encouraged me enormously to continue with my art. The other person is Linda Wilder, a Calgary artist, and I was so fortunate. It was my 60th birthday, and I've always wanted to stay at the Banff Springs Hotel, and my husband brought me there. She's doing a mentorship on my birthday. I got to paint with her on my birthday.
Great gift.
I know, it was so wonderful. My husband didn't see much of me on my birthday except for dinner. But we have corresponded back and forth now for, over 5 years. And then Dominique Modolinsky, which is an island artist, I had cataracts and glaucoma, and I lost my colors. Everything was gray-yellow.
Okay.
So I hired him to come to my house to teach me colors again.
Okay.
And I was so thankful because when my colors came back, I had more in tune theory that I thought I had down pat than I didn't.
Hmm.
And then the last person is actually Alison Watt, a local artist who taught me my first class in watercolor. And because of her, I started doing birds and fish, and I got invited to paint for the Machosen Naturals Society. And it's a volunteer process, and to help the Naturalist Society over this COVID time to still stay up and running. And so there were 50 of us who painted for them. And I felt very fortunate